Hello there. You must be the member of the Junior Senatorial program. No, I've been expecting you, of course. I do appreciate you traveling all the way from Naboo. I just couldn't get away from Coruscant right now. Yes, you have unfortunately chosen a rather dreary day here on the capital. But hopefully we can bring a touch of Naboo to our day. I've dressed like the lake country, forgive me, but I miss it so. Now, please remind me of your name. Of course. Well, you can call me Padme. I know that it's rather formal here on Coruscant, but I want you to feel comfortable here speaking with me. From what I understand, you are a very bright pupil within the Senatorial program. Yes. Well, your learners and professors have hinted at the idea that one day perhaps you could represent Naboo in the Senate. I know you're young, but sometimes these things happen rather fast. I did not expect to be queen at such a young age, but it presented the opportunity and seemed to work within our planet's favor. So, I know that you have quite a bit of knowledge of the growing positions, yes, within the Senate and on Naboo and the surrounding systems, of course. Right. Yes. And I'm sure you're aware of the Gungan Alliance. Yes, very important to remember all the species within our planet. Yes, the Gungans have a representative that I work with as well, but no, he's not here today. So, for your finals, if you will, I'm not sure that's what they're calling it these days. A basic understanding of the history of some of the more political aspects of Naboo, is that correct? May I read it so far? Alright, so let's see here. I understand it's just a draft. I won't be too critical, I promise. Alright. Naboo Senatorial Delegation is the political body that represents the planet Naboo and 35 other worlds. The Backwater Como sector. Yes, for the Galactic Republic. Yes. Yes, you could look into some more information from the Coruscant perspective at the Naboo embassy here. I can show you that if you like. I just thought it was a little more comfortable to meet here at my apartment instead of the constant politics that follow around at the embassy. Yes. I did not want to frighten you away. You sound like such a star pupil. Sometimes the first visit to Coruscant can be quite overwhelming, and I did not want that for you. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. A little bit of history. When Palpatine succeeded Chancellor Valorum as Supreme Chancellor of the Republic, he was replaced by Janus Freejavis of Camel Minor, who proved unpopular. Well, let's not remind him of that. He wasn't horrible, but with the general population, the people and the species that we represent, he wasn't overly popular. too critical of some things and didn't really take into account the people. So it's not untrue to say that he was unpopular, but let's see. After 2 years of service, Grey Chattis was treated in favor of the Nubian Horace von Saul. Yes. And I believe he's at the embassy if you'd like to meet him. 6 years after his election, Senator von Saul was succeeded by Padme Amidala, former Queen of Naboo and architect of the reconciliation of the planet, with Gungan Jar Jar Binks as an associate planetary representative. Well, I do appreciate that you have included the Gungan representative. As I said, it's very important to remember and include all species, as everyone is just as important. Yes. Those that do not see it that way do not have a place in the Senate, but that's just my opinion. Let's see what else you have here. Just further details about that. I do imagine that you would have some questions for me, whether that's be regarding my years as queen or now as senator. Yes. Right. Well, it will change if you were to ever serve as senator for Naboo. It would of course change relationships, and you would grow to see which other senators perhaps you have similar opinions with, stances, political matters and things of that nature. Yes. For example, in political discussion and things of that nature, I do find myself discussing matters with Viceroy Bail Organa. Yes, from Alderaan. Yes. He and I do share some similar opinions and thoughts within the Galactic Republic. Yes. He currently serves as their senator as well as viceroy, so yes, he's quite busy, so I do have others as well. Senator Mon Mothma, from Chandrilla. Yes. And of course some others, but you will make those connections. You're already doing so well in the Senatorial program that once you do make the move to Coruscant, you can start making those connections within the Senate. Yes. And the rest of the Republic, various systems, various planets. You will see which fellow senators or potential senators within the Senatorial program that you find a connection with, that you share certain values or opinions with, politically, of course. So that just comes with time. Yes. Getting used to it. As I said, I started fairly young. I was in similar programs to you, instead of just working up to a senatorial position. However, I did go the route of queen. Is that something? I didn't think so, but I had to ask, of course. No, it's not at all necessary. I was asked to serve Naboo after. No, I could not turn her down. Are there any other questions that you have for me? I wouldn't say that you would see Chancellor Palpatine quite often in a position of this sort, or whoever would be serving as Chancellor when you would take the Senate, but you can, of course, arrange various meetings to discuss specific topics. The votes, of course, would be held within the entire Senate. Yes, it's important that the rest of the Republic all know the same information at once, but you can, of course, have private sessions with the Chancellor. Yes, he does understand the Nubian stance on things. He is from our home world. I imagine some of his opinions would be similar to ours. I suppose it depends on the time, place, occasion, if I agree on some of his stances or thoughts, statements. Everyone is, of course, entitled to their own opinion, but not all of us have to agree or vote the same way that he does, or suggests. Other questions? Right. I do have a bit of a history with the Jedi Council. I'm sure if you've read about, yes, the bit of a war on Naboo and the, bit of an alliance with the Gungans. Yes, part of the Jedi Council was involved in that, and still today a lot of us within the Senate do work with the various members of the Jedi Council, the Jedi in general. Of course, they have their own missions and things of that nature, but you will find that they are rather easy to work with. At least I find them perfectly fine to be around. Yes. There's a various number of ones that I've worked with. Master Windu, Master Yoda, Master Kenobi. I'm sure there's some others, but can't think off the top of my head. Yes, of course, different ranks of Jedi and whatnot. Well, some of them have grown to be close friends as well, so that's just all about making those connections around you, whether that be the people on Coruscant or home on Naboo. Within the Republic, different positions, not just the senators, but perhaps senatorial aides, assistants, things like that. Things of that nature, yes. And then reaching out to relationships, friendships with the Jedi Council and people within those circles. It's all about making those connections and finding those people that you can not only work with, but that you trust. Alright. Well, if you do not have any other questions for me, I imagine that we will finish up here, look over a few more of your notes just for your final report, make sure that you have all of the information that you need before we move off to the Nubian embassy. No. You do look much more relaxed now. Take a moment, relax. I'm just going to prepare our shuttle to the embassy. Feel free to make some notes or document any other questions that you may have. This day is fully dedicated to you, so I'm here to answer or explain anything that you may have about my position, the Republic.